Okay, having a look at experimental probability. So up till now, when you're looking at probability, you're talking about theoretical probability. Now we're talking about experimental probability. We also use the phrase relative frequency for that as well. So it's where we've done some experiments, we've got some data, and we're using that data to work out probabilities rather than what it should be in theory. So when we're working out experimental probability, we're looking at the number of times that event has occurred, and we're dividing by the total number of trials. So we've got an experiment here where we've got red, white, and orange marbles that are being drawn out of a bag, and the results have been noted. So they got 8 red, 12 white, and 10 orange when they did that. So we want to work out the probability of getting a red, or the experimental probability of getting a red. Now, when we add that up, we get 8 and 12 is 20, and 10 is 30. So the experiment was done 30 times, and for red, they got 8 out of 30. Now, we can reduce that to 4 over 15, and that's our experimental probability of getting a red marble. Now, if the experiment was done 600 times, how many red would you expect? Now, you know that 8 out of 30 came up as red, or 4 out of 15. We've got out of 600. So we can do it a couple of ways. So we could do 8 out of 30 and say, well, what would that be out of 600? And say, well, the 30 has been multiplied by 20. So our 8 needs to be multiplied by 20, and 8 times 20 would be 160. The other option is to grab your calculator and put that fraction in of 8 on 30, which gets reduced to the 4 on 15 like we already did, and we multiply that by 600. So we're multiplying our probability by the number of trials. So our expected number will be our experimental probability times by the number of trials. So we can then work those expected numbers out if we have an experimental probability that we can use.